And hello and welcome. It is noon here on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. I'm John Bachman.
And I'm Bianca De La Garza. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Bianca, let's get started today with the border crisis caused by President Biden's border policies. Migrants crossing over the U.S. border continue to flood in at a record pace. Border Patrol making more arrests and drug seizures every single day. We will get down to the border and check in with correspondent Jason Jones for the latest on that in just a moment.
We sure will, but how bad is it? The Biden administration is feeling the pressure now to even rethink its plans for Title 42. Take a look. These are the 10 Democrats in Congress joining with Republicans in an effort to keep this Trump-era policy in place. Now, the group, as you see here, includes Senator Joe Manchin, who says Title 42 has been an essential tool controlling the influx of migrants. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada accusing the administration of, quote, acting without a detailed plan. And after this pushback, President Biden could be changing his mind, John.
All right, let's talk about all this and welcome in Trump-endorsed candidate for Arizona Governor, Kari Lake. Kari, always great to see you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me on.
Well, and this reminds me of the last conversation we had when we were in North Carolina, and you said, hey, John, did you hear the build the wall chants? They were as loud in North Carolina, you pointed this out to me again, as they were in Arizona and in Texas. Maybe not as loud because the crowd wasn't quite as big, but as intense as they were. And we also see now Homeland Security officials predicting 18,000 people a day will try to enter the U.S. in the next 6 weeks when Title 42 ends. Kari, there is no conscionable way that the Biden administration can end this Title 42, is there?
No. I mean, can we all just agree that President Trump knew how to handle the border, he knew how to secure the border, and Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing, or he's complicit and he wants the border to be open? I'm not sure which one it is. I'm starting to think he wants the border to be open and he wants this invasion. I'm really pleased that these governors, primarily Republican governors, have decided to form an interstate compact. This is part of my border plan, which is the toughest border plan out there. They did not go far enough. And if any of them are listening, they need to change up this compact and call it what it is, an invasion at our southern border. They need to call to enact their Article 1 authority. I didn't see any indication of funding that would go toward this. And they also need to have a plan for detaining people who come here illegally and removing them. Frankly, all of these governors should send at least a portion of their state National Guard to Arizona and Texas immediately. We need boots on the ground. We need armed National Guard members there because we're going up against narco terrorists, these cartel members. And we need to stop people from entering our country before they pull back Title 42, John, because then, like you said, it's 18,000 people a day pouring in. 18,000 people, that's what they're guessing at. Probably more than that. You and I both know that they often underestimate when it comes to these numbers. Now, you talked about this task force. There are 26 GOP governors. I asked where the other 2 GOP governors, why are they not involved? And also the other 22 Democratic governors. But here is a clip of the current governor of Arizona talking about this. Let's take a look.
There are kids ODing on fentanyl all over our country in schools and neighborhoods. It's one of the leading causes of death. People that are addicted, people that are looking for a cheap high, and that's coming over our southern border, but it's happening in small towns and rural communities in the interior. That's what the Border Strike Force is, to share information, stop the cartels, and stop the human trafficking.
Very cool. 2-camera shoot there for the governor. But as you indicated, this is something you've been talking about for a long time. I also thought it was interesting yesterday, Politico had a headline that said, quote, GOP govs play final cards ahead of primary. Like, this is just Doug Ducey's card he's playing on the border. Like, I mean, this is what Politico seems to be insinuating here, that he feels like his best chance to try and catch up to you because you're beating him in the polls.
I'm just happy that we're steering the debate and discussion, and we need more than a discussion. We need our governor to do more. I sent him on January 4th my border plan. I said, take it, it's yours, do with it what you will, but just please enact this for the safety and security of Arizona. I can see he's pulling pieces out of it, but he needs to make a full measure rather than a half measure here, because we've got to have people on the border stopping people from coming in. Right now, they just pour right in. And then they become our problem. And I think it's really cute that some of these governors are putting the illegal aliens onto buses and shipping them to Delaware or D.C. But, John, they still remain our problem when that's happening. We need to send these buses back to the border and unload them back across the border.
Right.
And get tough with Mexico and say, look, we're not going to allow your trucks to come in. We're not going to allow this open business that we have if you're not going to help protect us from these people coming across our border. We've got to play the same hardball that President Trump played, because we've got Joe Biden
at the border. And you can kind of lose sight of the human aspect of this. And I know, again, you understand this. So many people understand this. The reason why you have strong borders is so you don't incentivize the human trafficking and the human cost here. And I hear stories like this one, and I'm reminded of that human cost. The Arizona border agents in Douglas discovered the body of a 32-year-old Mexican woman who died because she got stranded and stuck atop the border wall. I mean, that's what the end of Title 42 and these lax immigration policies, it encourages this type of behavior, and it leads to these types of senseless deaths.
Mm-hmm. It truly does. And I mean, this is all because Joe Biden basically gave the nod and told the world to come on in. And he's got blood on his hands because of this. But I also think of the humanitarian toll and the crisis for American citizens who are suffering and struggling. And Governor Ducey mentioned it with the fentanyl. I don't see it so much as overdose deaths. I see it as the poisoning of America.
Right.
These drugs are so dangerous that when they lace a Xanax pill with this kind of fentanyl, it's a death sentence with one pill. I think I heard the stat that enough fentanyl is pouring in to kill every man, woman, and child in this country 7 times over. As far as I'm concerned, they are pushing in a weapon of mass destruction. And we've got to start treating these people, these cartel members, as what they are, terrorists, and stop it at the border before it even comes across. And I think that we're starting to see a little bit of movement towards that. My message to these governors is take it that one big step. Call it what it is, an invasion. Put some teeth into this pact and put some money into it and stop these people and these drugs from coming over for once and for all.
Yeah, I mean, this issue of immigration, specifically illegal immigration, what you talked about, America, so many people, Democrat, Republican, Independent, feel like their country's being stolen from them because of these buses that show up in their hometown. They see the video carry of illegal immigrants getting cell phones when we're paying $200 a month for our family plans. It doesn't seem fair, and this is not a partisan issue. This is it's a moral issue. One other thing I want to talk to you. Exactly. One other thing I want to talk to you about, too, is the Biden administration now saying they're going to appeal this court ruling that came out of a federal judge in Florida yesterday when it comes to the mask mandate for public transportation. Look, you know, I remember being in Arizona. You can feel the freedom in the air. I don't think if this goes back into place, people in Arizona are going to stand for it.
I hope not. I mean, this is every time we give away one of our rights, we have to fight to get it back.
Yep.
And I hope that the American people, now that we've been freed from these ridiculous, sadistic theater of these masks, these, bacteria-riddled masks, that we won't ever go back to wearing them. And I'm talking about at the airport. I stopped wearing them at the airport a long time ago. And it's amazing how rare it is for somebody at the airport to stop me and try to tell me to put a mask on. We need to stand up for our rights and say enough is enough. We're going to breathe fresh air. We're not going to breathe this bacteria air into our mouths and into our noses anymore. So I hope the good people of this country will stand up, even if Joe Biden tries to push that back at us, because in my opinion, he is an illegitimate president. They stole this election from us, and I'm not going to sit here as governor of Arizona when I'm elected and take orders from an illegitimate president who shouldn't even be sitting in the White House.
Great to see you, Kari Lake. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, John. Have a great day.
All right.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.